attention, please. Welcome to the First Baptist Church in America, a historical landmark built in 1776. We are delighted to have Brown University's graduating class with us here today. In the event of a fire or other emergency, please follow the directions of the ushers and proceed calmly to an exit and move away from the building. For those seated in the balcony, please proceed back to the stairs by which you entered the balcony and down the tower out the front doors of the church. Seniors seated on the main floor should proceed to the north and south exit doors located midpoint of the church. Those seated in the front of the main floor should exit via the doors to the left and right of the pulpit. Sitting or standing in the aisles is not permitted. Also, kindly shut off any electronic devices for the duration of the ceremony. Thank you and congratulations.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Will you pray with me? Almighty God, creator of life and source of all truth, we ask your blessing upon Brown University and all who are gathered here today, especially our graduates. Bless the homes they have come from. Bless their families and all who love them and who now rejoice with them at their achievements. Bless all who have taught and encouraged them through the days of their youth, their teachers, their pastors, counselors, and friends, and all who have given them the guidance and support. Lord, we ask that you bless these graduates, purify their motives and their goals, and give them a measure of usefulness and purpose in the world, which you have made and redeemed. You have given them searching minds to gather knowledge and to seek truth. Grant that those who are graduating may grow not only in knowledge, but in wisdom and in the knowledge and love of you. When they go astray, guide them back to truth. When they are corrupted through the prejudice, pride, or selfishness, awaken their consciousness that they may amend their ways. When they fail, give them courage to begin again and again with the support of family and friends. Go forth with them all as they pursue their dreams, seek adventure, accept new responsibilities, and discover themselves. Keep them safe from all evil. Endue them with courage and loyalty, and grant them the things that they may serve without reproach. Grant that they may do the work that you have called them to do in truth, in beauty, and in righteousness, with singleness of heart, as your servants and for the common good of the world. It is in you, God, that we hope and pray. Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer.
Ramadan Kareem to Muslim siblings in attendance, and Shabbat Shalom for those for whom today is the Sabbath. When Jews greet one another on Saturday with Shabbat Shalom, we mean have a peaceful day of ceasing. The Jewish Sabbath is a time for stopping, for pausing to reflect upon and to take joy in all that's been created, all the hard work that's been done. And that's what today is about for all of you, and therefore for all of us. Today is a day for pausing and finding peace, shalom, and wholeness, shlemut, in having reached this great day of celebration. While tomorrow will honor and make way for the commencement of new endeavors and journeys, today is about honoring how far we've come, about gratitude for the learning, labor, and love involved in the miracle of having reached this very moment, lazman hazeh, in life and in peace. So as we prepare now to recite words that acknowledge this miracle, I invite each of us here, each of you, to pause and to call to mind the blessings that were integral to your arriving here. Please join me now in Hebrew, English, or in simply responding Amen as we recite the Shehecheyanu prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Eternal One, source of life, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this day.
Good afternoon. As the minister of this congregation gathered by Roger Williams, it is a profound delight to welcome each of you into this meeting house today. Since the 1770s, graduates of Brown have passed through these doors for this part of graduation ceremonies. And so it is a wonder to have you here with us today in keeping with this tradition. You know, I love what I do. I love my job. And this moment is one of the reasons why. I get to look out at all of you. Years from now, you will look back on images captured today and say, why didn't anyone tell me how beautiful I was? Hear me now. You are so beautiful. You are radiant. You are ready whether you know it or not. And if you don't know it, you'll learn it. So you are ready. You are vibrating with life. And so trust this moment that you have been preparing for is now. Fully inhabit this. Don't let it pass you by. So hear me if you missed it before. You are beautiful. Yes. You are brave. Yes. You are ready. So yes, welcome to this meeting house. And yes, welcome into what's next for you. You've got this. Continue from this place and be blessed.
Amen.
be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
I pray we'll find your light
I pray we'll find your light
and hold it in our heart.
and hold it in our heart.
When stars go out each night,
Stars go out each night.
remind us where you
Remind us
are.
where you are.
Let this be our prayer
Let this be our prayer
when shadows fill our days.
when shadows fill our days.
Oh Lord, lead us to a place, oh my.
Guide us with your grace.
Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe. A world where pain and sorrow will be ended, and every heart that's broken will be mended, and we'll remember we are all God's children, reaching out to touch you, reaching to the sky. We ask that life be kind
We ask that life be kind
and watch us from above.
and watch us from above.
We hope each soul will find.
We hope each soul will find
Another soul to love.
another soul to love.
Let this be our prayer.
Let this be our prayer.
Just like every child.
Just like every child
needs to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe. Needs to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be
Throughout this next section of the service, entitled Wisdom from Our Traditions, we will continue to watch, hear, and experience various rituals, prayers, and hymns from traditions within our community at Brown. During these performances, you may find moments in which you recognize yourself, recognize your own beliefs, your identity, your experiences. There may be other performances that register as unfamiliar, expressions of conviction that feel distant from your own understanding of the world. Or maybe you don't anticipate any moments of personal recognition, and you're just wondering how long it will be before you get to hear John Krasinski speak. But by entering this space, we chose to enter a shared experience, constructed with moments of familiarity and unfamiliarity. Which begs the question, how might we listen to and learn from traditions outside of our own, or from languages that we do not speak? What does it mean to gather within a religious space such as this? A space that, at one point, perhaps you did not feel welcome. In what ways do you, as an individual, belong within this space and this community? These questions are provoking, they're uncomfortable, and that's okay. Bring your discomfort and your uncertainty into this experience, for they are powerful sources of learning. But also bring your curiosity, your intellectual humility, and perhaps most importantly, your open mind. This experience is for us, the students, to meaningfully listen to one another and to consider how we exist in relation to ideas larger than ourselves.
And still, it is within ourselves that we hold the capacity to understand something greater. Every single person in this room is a breathing, living self that has the potential to connect with others in the larger community of selves. Thus, we urge you, at the very least, to be conscious of that self, present in your actions, existent, and mindfully so. We do a lot of waiting and getting through the days. We romanticize the weekend, the next break, the next sunny day, because the future always seems to hold something better than the state that we're currently in. Even commencement itself focuses on the adventures of what's next. We must begin to realize that the green fields that we idealize in our future are just that, ideas. And if the images of tomorrow are what consumes us, we won't be able to see the color of life infused in our present, in our now, pigmenting every moment with the most perfect of colors. So we ask you to be conscious during these expressions of tradition and allow yourself to enjoy their colors, their beauty, their transcendence. Tradition is timeless and yet full of time, full of yesterday's history, full of promises of today, full of tomorrow's sense of hope. Be present in the love, be present in the discomfort, be present in your familiarity or your unfamiliarity. Connect with us, because at the very least, we're a community of nothing more than selves wanting to understand each other.
As you listen, we would also like you to think about Brown's official motto, In Deo Speramus, which means, in God we hope. No matter how you identify, religiously or spiritually, hope transcends all traditions. It allows us to dream, to wonder, to want more, and to believe even when logic tells us otherwise. Arriving at Brown, we all had hopes about what our undergraduate experience would be like, that we would be excited about a planned course of study, make lasting friendships, and engage in fulfilling extracurriculars. Some things turned out as planned, and others did not. As we lived and learned, we continued to hope, sometimes creating new hopes in the process. The idea of hope not only binds us to Brown and the state of Rhode Island, but also to each other as the class of 2019. We each have had individual journeys, but this thread of hope is really a tradition in and of itself, one that we have all participated in together for the past 4 years. You are about to witness wisdom from our traditions. While we certainly can derive wisdom from these sacred readings, rituals, and performances, we can also find hope. Many of these traditions have served and continue to serve as a source of cultural preservation and provide a sense of identity and hope for our classmates and our communities. As we graduate, let us not forget to continue to make our own traditions within new communities, engage in spaces that allow us to grow from discomfort, be conscious in the present, and above all, never lose that sense of hope that we cultivated here at Brown.
In the beginning, the world was dark. The people were alone and cold and with great hardship. They knew nothing, they had nothing. But Raven knew where to find the light. He took the light onto his own back and flew over the world. The light was so bright and beautiful that it burnt his feathers black, and it fell to the earth, where it shattered and broke into the sun, the moon, and the stars. As they ascended into the sky, suddenly the people saw the mountains and valleys, the rivers and the streams, the salmon and the bears and the tall pine trees. The raven showed the people the world and showed them how wealthy they were. Today we thank this land of the Wampanoag and Narragansett peoples that has held us and supported us for the past 4 years. We thank this air that gives us breath, the sun that warms our faces, and the water that is life. We thank our ancestors that have brought us here, who made sacrifices and endured hardship so that we might have greater opportunities. This earth is as precious and as sacred as our own bodies, as our own spirits, because we are one. Raven reminds us to open our eyes to the glory of the natural world and to always be thankful for our blessings, even through darkness. To cleanse this space, to fill it with prayer, and to send our thanks through the generations, we smudge with medicinal plants. This is the first time that the First Baptist Church has been smudged. Today I will cleanse with bear root, given to me by a mentor and a Brown alumnus from the Standing Rock Sioux peoples. Nalchindag na ya nakhil kulkan nalkin kulkat ahai ahai ida aina ya da elki nakhin kulkat ahai ahai Bacha aina ya da ilki nakhin kulkad ahai ahai. Our relatives have come back to us. Our friends with cheer have come back to us. Our loved ones with kindness too have come back to us. Chiknik Nakaltani, thank you, Creator, for the beauty of this world and for the beauty of our time here.
Great Father, spirits and ancestors of the worldwide Africana family, kindred spirits wherever your sojourn finds you in this day of days, you, our historical elders who cleared the paths, we recognize you.
We know you expect us to be road markers, fully aware of the eternal connections between the path and the river.
May you accept our offering of water that we know is acceptable to all of you.
May you help us to always remember that salt is taken out of water and put right back into it for the purposes of our nourishment.
May you illumine the path of these young ones who are taking leave of Brown today,
so that wherever the journey of life takes them, they remember those who nurtured them at various stages in school life, especially parents,
grandparents,
relatives,
and friends. Nkulunkulu anibusise.
This is part of the very ancient Indian graduation ceremony, maybe 7,000 years ago or so. And Bhavani Khemka will be joining me in reciting this. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Vedamanuchacharyonte Vasinamanushaste Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara Swadhyayan Ma Pramadah Satyana Pramaditavyam Dharmana Pramaditavyam Kushalana Pramaditavyam Bhutyaina Pramaditavyam Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam Na Pramaditavyam Deva Pitrakaryabhyam Na Pramaditavyam Matridevo Bhava Pitridevo Bhava Acharya Devo Bhava Atithi Devo Bhava Yanyanavadyani Karmani Tani Sevitavyani No Itarani Yanyasmakagam Sucharitani Tani Tvayopasyani No Itarani. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
Tzadik, Ulei Shrelev Simcha, Or Zaru ala Tzadik, Ulei Shrelev Simcha, Or Zaru ala Tzadik, Ulei Shrelev Simcha, Or Zaru ala Tzadik, Ulei Shrelev Simcha. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Od Yehalelu Hasela. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Od Yehalelu Hasela. Ashrei, Ashrei, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Ashrei, Ashrei, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Ashrei
Totu floniet in himin hokai in Christo Iesu. Hosen morphi theo heperakon ik harpagman hegasato to iane isa theo. Ala heoton ikenosin morphen dulu labon in homoiomati anthropon genomenos kai schemati hierethius hos anthropos eta pianosen heoton genomenos hipkus mekli thanatu destaru.
אור הנר נמחל באור הירח, על הקר שערך שפוך. בחלון צמרת עץ פורח והשקט חזר, רואים לפי העיר.
שרייך הייתה, הנה חבלה, ופנייך שוברות כבני הים. עם האור נוסיף ללכת חלה, עוד הדרך רבה, המסע עדיין לא תם. קלה דרכנו, ועיניים לפעמים חולגות, עוד שדות קרובים יש לפנינו, עוד הרים קרובים וצוני שדות. לא קלה דרכנו, ועיניים לפעמים חולגות, עוד שדות קרובים יש לפנינו, עוד הרים קרובים וצוני שדות. רסיסים של אור בדמעותייך, וכי ישוב מקדש דרכו אליי. קולותיו עודנו לפנייך, שימי ראש על כתפי, תני לי ידך בידי.
עוד מעט איתם הנר לקבוע, עוד מעט יובס השקט המבורח. המולת היום תתחיל לבקוע, לא תלכי לבדך, אני אהיה שם איתך. דרכנו, ועיניים לפעמים חולגות, עוד שדות קרובים יש לפנינו, עוד הרים וצוני שדות. קלה דרכנו, ועיניים לפעמים חולגות, עוד שדות קרובים יש לפנינו, עוד הרים וצוני
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجان من مارج من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العظيم.
As long as we have some definite idea about or some hope in the future, we cannot really be serious with the moment that exists right now. You may say, I can do it tomorrow or next year, believing that something that exists today will exist tomorrow. Even though you are not trying so hard, you expect that some promising thing will come as long as you follow a certain way. But there is no certain way that exists permanently. There is no way set up for us. Moment after moment, we have to find our own way. Some idea of perfection or some perfect way which is set up by someone else is not the true way for us. Each one of us must make his own true way, and when we do, that way will express the universal way. This is the mystery. When you understand one thing through and through, you understand everything. When you try to understand everything, you will not understand anything. The best way is to understand yourself, and then you will understand everything. Now I invite us all to engage in a moment of silence when I ring the bell.
feel so fine. I'm drinking the love you pour into my life. Over my mind, let it go red wine. The sun will dance into the sky, don't shine. You're in my eyes, see your eyes. You're shaking my body, moving left to right. In my life, you'll go red wine. Yeah, and you keep buzzing my mind.
Baby, when I touch my heart, I can really, really feel it. What an experience. Baby, when I touch your heart, I can really, really feel it. What an experience. Ooh, when I touch your heart, I can really, really feel it. What an experience. Sweet wine, won't you feel so fine? I'm drinking the love you pour into my life. In my mind, you're a good red wine. The sun will dance until the sky don't shine. In my eyes, see your eyes. You're taking my body, shake it left and right. In my mind, you're a good red wine. Yeah, you're really buzzing my mind.
Let us pray. Choreographer of life's deepest journeys, source of our heart's compassion, illumination sufficient to reflect the luster of justice, even amid clouds of cruelty and commodification, fuel of righteousness, adequate to dismantle inequity's deepest structures. Impulse that emboldens our dance, our song, that transforms awkward kindness into grace-filled mercy. Metric, hewing the very language and grammar of a new world yet to be born. We arrive again, even as we ready to depart together. Once deeply different in identity, language, prayer, aspiration. In these days, imperceptibly, we forged bonds. We are and were and will be transformed by one another. Today, Brunonians all, we arrive again. Still beautifully distinct, not blurred, but different. Ours is no simple agreement, but we are joined deeply, blown together by our dreams and the sacrificial generosity of our families and all those who provided for us here. Mindful of those who readied this place and us for these rigors, those who taught us, those who warned us, those who inspired us. We arrive passionate seekers. We hoped initially for safe haven in each other's care, but over time determined to set strong foundations of worthy lives in ways we'd never dreamed. We received, each from the other, so much. And today, we are the grateful, the deeply, deeply grateful, and even the surprised. Startled by our unity and by our disparateness, startled by the love we share with beloved Brunonian friends, and still amazed that there are many we've never even met yet from our time on College Hill. So much to return for in days to come. In these closing moments, the intimacy of prayer never dared binds us in heart, not dogma. Humility requires that we see through the superlatives of celebrations, the accolades even of our favorite endeavors, to focus beyond these gates and see our capacity and dreams of justice measured sternly by Earth's need. We pray that the strength of our learning, our friendships, and our commitment to do the good will enable us to secure each other's trajectories to enact transformation. radiance beyond any name, chronicler for whom none are undocumented, question beyond our forming, truth that is our dearest obligation and yet unknown, ineffable stillness. Make us mindful, soulful, joyful. Abide with us. These, your beloved daughters and sons, shimmer with promise, eloquent in their learning, and quivering with hope. Grant them capacity to speak for the voiceless, to name the good, and to become blessing, even privilege, for those who have never known either. Enfolded now in the colors of the rose and the earth, may this rising generation who bear Brown's name indelibly be enfolded ever in friendship. These many faces, holy human gifts who loved us even when we did not love ourselves. Grant grace to each to find purpose beyond platitude, to eschew banality, to enact compassion where brutality threatens, to reflect ever radiant hope received in Brunonius halls, and to reflect it even to the farthest reaches of your oft-clouded but ever-precious world. So we rise now to honor the memory of those in the Brown family, our classmates, our leaders, our teachers, whom death has claimed. Their place in our circle always cherished, we remember with thanksgiving our profound privilege to share their generation, and we keep a time of silence as again we hear their beloved and respected names.
From our circle of beloved students, Christina Belyakova, class of 2019. Anthony Bertoli, class of 2019. Ted M. Choi, class of 2019. Mariori Kondi, class of 2018, MAT 2019. And Travis Johnson, Brown Trinity MFA, class of 2019.
And from our faculty and staff, Mary Arnold, Associate Professor Emerita of Pediatrics. Andrew Bourgeois, Amy Hill, Nurse Practitioner, Health Services. David Rainier, Retail Clerk, Bookstore. Mark Schofer, Rigger, Men's and Women's Crews, Athletics and Physical Education.
William Crossgrove, Professor Emeritus of German Studies and Comparative Literature. Walter Freiberger, Professor Emeritus of Applied Mathematics. Patricia Herlihy, Professor Emerita of History. William Simmons, Professor of Anthropology. Aaron Wold, Professor Emeritus of Chemistry. And Stanley Zimmering, Professor Emeritus of Biology.
For these, our Brunonian beloved, now entrusted to eternity in peace, and for all that has graced our lives in Brunonius halls, we offer heartfelt thanks now and always, and together we say, Amen. Please be seated.
Chancellor Mankoff, trustees and fellows of the Brown Corporation, officers and distinguished guests of the university, administrators, members of the Brown faculty, parents, family members, alumni, and friends gathered on the green to witness these proceedings, and most importantly, all of you who sit before me on the eve of your graduation, excited? You see? Excited. Yes. You know, I was going to say a little sleep deprived, but you sure don't seem it. So you're doing great. Let me say welcome and congratulations to the brilliant Brown University class of 2019. Tomorrow, on the lawn of this meeting house, you will officially become members of Brown's 251st graduating class. So think about it. Tomorrow, life after Brown begins. Take that in for a minute. You've been thinking about that for a long time. And the career paths you see for yourself are out there. They're waiting to be traversed. The problems you want to solve are out there waiting for your insights. The ideals you want to fight for are out there waiting for your passion. And everything you experienced here at Brown, the classroom discussions, the intense friendships, the moments of rebellion you felt, The times you stepped out of your comfort zones, the knowledge you mastered, all of it has set you up for tomorrow and what comes beyond. And the challenge for you now is to trust it. Just trust it. Trust that your time at Brown has prepared you in every conceivable way for what's out there for you in the coming days. Our baccalaureate speaker knows something about this. John Krasinski once said, and I quote, "The best thing about Brown was that everyone was doing whatever the hell they wanted in a good way." In other words, John totally got Brown. He got the kinetic intellectual environment. He got how Brown students encourage each other's creativity. He got the way everyone collaborates. And he got the openness to all things, the willingness to explore and try on different hats, perhaps the signature virtue of the Brown experience. And undoubtedly, this virtue plays beautifully in his current profession. Openness is key for inhabiting the starkly different characters John has portrayed over 2 decades in show business, like Jim Halpert, the practical joker and paper salesman on the hit show The Office, or Dustin Noble, the mercurial, effective environmental activist fighting a war against fracking in rural Pennsylvania in Promised Land. Or more recently, Lee Abbott, the intense survivalist in a post-apocalyptic world trying desperately to protect his family from aliens in the acclaimed A Quiet Place. Even John Krasinski, member of People magazine's Sexiest Man on... on that list. Okay. After he appeared on that list in 2006, he came to Brown to give a talk. And he noted his openness to the role, saying, "I don't know how you go about being a sex symbol, but I'm doing everything I can." For John, his Brown years were, as he told the Brown Daily Herald, an explosive time for him. Brown is where he, quote, had his brain expanded to a place he didn't remember. And for us, of course, it's gratifying to know that Brown has had more than a bit part in helping John Krasinski land the roles of a lifetime, a successful artist, free to explore his craft and push the envelope, and a devoted family man happily finding his way through parenthood. John gets that he's lived what he himself has called a lottery ticket life. And yes, he still questions his success. As he put it not too long ago, and I quote, "I'm still the kid in college who promised himself, if I ever get an opportunity, I'll do everything I can with it. You have to realize you're lucky, and I do, every second of the day. I feel so lucky that it freaks me out sometimes." So please join me in welcoming our baccalaureate speaker, actor, writer, director, and a bona fide Brown treasure, the one and only John Krasinski.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Great. Guys, this is insane. What is happening? Why am I up here? Truly. No, I'm dead serious. Why am I up here? To be asked to come back to this place to speak to a graduating class of an institution that truly meant the world to me and still is the leading aspect of my entire life and career, it is the cornerstone of my life and career, is an astonishing honor. So thank you for being here. I mean that. I really, really do. It is also an honor that I almost immediately regretted saying yes to. Because look at this church, look at these people. Supposedly there are more people on the green. They only just told me that, yes. There's people in Solomon? No engine 93, okay. Nothing for Solomon, all right. I love you, Solomon. So, luckily, a few days after I said yes, a rescue call was sent. I was to get on the phone with our phenomenal host, one of our phenomenal hosts of today's incredible ceremony, the one and only Reverend Janet Cooper Nelson's down here. Yep. Rock star, put this all together. Her job was pretty simple: to harness any and all spiritual guidance, reach out over that phone, metaphorically grab me by the hand, and wade me through the waters of sheer terror. The end result? She made things way worse. Janet, I love you, but in attempting to give me advice and pointers on what I should say in my speech, she started referencing these indelible speeches from other people who had already spoken. Yeah. You want to know what she led off with? You know, I remember when Ruth Bader Ginsburg was here. I don't mind telling you, I peed a little bit. I did. The class of 2002 had a Supreme Court justice talk to them, okay? And as I was checking my pants to see if they needed dry cleaning, I heard her say, or maybe the funniest moment had to be when the Dalai Lama was here. And I blacked out. I mean, full unconscious, blacked out. Head hit the table, out. Because, let me be honest, guys, the Dalai Lama spoke? Okay? I mean, he was the funniest? I can't contend with the llama on a bad day, but to know that he brought his A game? He had a tight 15-minute comedy set? No, thank you. So I'd like to start here today by addressing the parents of the class of 2019. And to you, I would like to say, I hear you. Don't worry. I have already had the t-shirts made up. My kid just graduated from Brown, and all I got was the dude from The Office? Good. Glad you think that's funny. That's really funny. Let me tell you what's really funny. The notorious RBG, His Holiness, they didn't go to Brown. Not smart enough. You know who did go to Brown? The dude from The Office. That's ridiculous. It actually sounded awful just coming out. And because of that, I am specifically and acutely aware of just what an astounding honor it is to be here today. So to the graduates of the class of 2019, tomorrow, I say thank you. Thank you for letting me be here today. Truly, thank you for letting me be a part of your day. This is your day, and you are graduating tomorrow. How cray is that? Does anyone say cray anymore? Okay. I'm ancient. Who's nervous? Let me see a show of hands of the people in the, really, a lot of outliers here. Well, I look forward to your world domination. I was terrified because all the people came up to me and said, the future belongs to you. Whoa! What? I am currently searching for an apartment trying to keep the number of roommates in single digits. Literally nothing belongs to me. Take a deep breath. Let's all take a breath. Wow, you actually did it. You're going to be great. There are many sides to being nervous, and a whole lot of them are wildly useful. And for the ones that aren't so useful, well, let me see if I can't walk you through some of those. Believe it or not, they asked me to come up with the title of this speech. Yes, this characterizes this as a speech. And yes, they think it's good enough to come up with a name. What's so hard to understand? The name I came up with off the top of my head was, what do I know? Right? Pretty good. And oddly enough, that line went from being some jokey device I was using to deflect my own fears of being up here to a genuine challenge to myself. What do I know that I can tell you guys about that could possibly illuminate the future that stands in front of you? Well, I know that tomorrow you will all receive a piece of paper that says you've gotten one of the best educations there is to get, period. I also know that that education did not necessarily happen in the classroom. You know, the funniest thing about me is my getting into Brown, I didn't feel I deserved to get in. So I made it my mission to deserve to graduate. That was my thing. I came to Brown as a mid-year. Don't know if that program exists anymore, but yes, one person? Nope. Okay. It's gotten smaller since I was here. But I was one of 32 kids that were not accepted in the fall with everyone else. Thanks anyway. But rather we came in alone, hungry, and cold in January. I remember immediately trying to find my place, to find a group, to find my people. There was a moment where I even thought I might try to play basketball here. Don't laugh yet. Don't laugh yet. My brother Paul was actually the captain of the basketball team, so I had communicated with the coach a couple times about potentially walking on. Still no laughter, please. And it was January, so it was mid-season. I walked up to the gym one day to meet with the coach. I opened the door. As the door swung open, by the time it reached the end and was coming back, I went, no. Nope. These dudes were too big. They were too good. And it was just after lunch and they were on their second practice? No, thank you. No, thank you. So I turned around, walked straight through the campus toward my dorm when something caught my eye. I saw a flyer for a sketch comedy group called Out of Bounds. Yes, you can all clap for them. That's how big we were too. It's funny because I think the flyer caught my eye because it was nailed to a tree. And I remember thinking like, whoa, I haven't been at Brown very long, but protecting trees is kind of like one of your things, right? So I went in for the audition and my entire life changed. Nope, not because I got in, not because I started acting. It was through that group that I found my way into this community. It was through that group that I met my people. And all of a sudden, I was surrounded by the most inspiring peers. I mean, every single one of them seemed way smarter than me, way cooler than me, way more interesting. And one of the best decisions I made in my life was just to lean all the way in. Nope, not to acting. Are you kidding? I mean, I really wasn't good enough to be here. I don't know if you're listening. These kids were amazing. Truly, by the end of senior year, the only parts I had ever gotten were like armed guard number 4 or terrified hostage guest number 2. Yeah, that's right. When I was at Brown, we did Die Hard the musical. Yep. You guys really missed out. I can promise you that. My parents are right here. They'll tell you you missed out. They didn't. They didn't miss out. It was ridiculous. Okay. You still have your shirts that say my kid went to Brown and all I got was Die Hard the musical? That seems harsh, but we'll talk about it later. No, I didn't get to throw everything into acting, but I did throw everything I had into this unparalleled pool of brilliant people. You know, people often ask me how I got into acting. The truth is, I didn't get into acting. I got into everything. Believe it or not, when I got to Brown, I really hadn't listened to any music that wasn't on the radio, seen any movie that wasn't in the multiplex. One day I asked a small group of friends to each give me one of their favorite movies, favorite albums, and they did. Every single week for 4 years. Yeah, cry. Okay, I'm back. It was the experience of my life. One of the most mind-blowing, mind-expanding experiences, and no drugs were necessary. It was without a doubt the beginning of everything. For the next 4 years, I wanted to be a part of it all. I formed a new way of thinking, a new way of executing those thoughts. I leapt out of my comfort zone, then stayed there, and then leapt again. I experienced firsthand the powerful shift in doing something out of love rather than out of necessity. I learned what it meant to believe. I took chances. I failed, and I took more chances. So yes, in the classroom, I received one of the greatest educations one can possibly get, true, but the piece of paper I got at graduation also represents that education. The piece of paper I got not only says where I was educated, but who I was educated with. And it declares that I am a member of that community of people to be relied upon to take risks, provoke thought, and to be committed participants in this world. The piece of paper I got represented every facet of my experience. And the piece of paper I got is the exact same piece of paper you're gonna get tomorrow. The piece of paper I got, I live my life every single day by. Because when looking at this sense of nervous that you're feeling now, ask yourself, what's it based in? Is it based in the unknown? Because my question to you is, up until now, how else have you approached each new tomorrow? And if your nerves are based in fear of failure, well, my question is, up until now, how have you defined success? Because in this community, without the presence of financial gain, isn't success simply defined as you're just being onto something? Taking an idea farther than it had never been before? Why does it ever need to change? It doesn't. Or if your nerves are based on something bigger, a fear of something bigger, the world at large, well, to that I do say, yes, it's true, they're right. The future does indeed belong to you. But the abstract weight of responsibility to change it overnight very much does not. Real change is organic. The only responsibility you all have is to hold fast to everything that you have lived right here. To not conform. To realize that when you're out there, you've done all this before, right in here. Remember fondly the discomfort you felt when you were asked to push yourself farther than you were ever sure you could go. And the wash of elation when you finally got there. Remember to be scared. You've been scared before. You'll be scared again. Find more of your people. Lean all the way in. Take chances. Fail big and take chances again. Listen to music. Remember to believe in something. And fall in love as many times as it takes. And remember, before you do something special, just do something. The truth can almost seem too simple, but the simple truth is, the program you ran here is the same program. Just run it again, and again, and again. That's what I know. Thank you to this class, to this institution. It is my honor. Thank you.
As president of the Brown Alumni Association, I rise to express the warmest congratulations and blessings to the class of 2019. We all welcome you officially tomorrow into the remarkable family of Brunonians, and today convey a symbol of your new place and new authority in the body of the Brown alumni. Together, may shared privileges of Brown education strengthen us to meet the Charter's aspiration that generates will be able to discharge the offices of life with usefulness and reputation, strengthening sacred hope in the world.
On behalf of the class of 2019, I am honored to accept with deep thanks the welcome and blessing of our Alumni Association. With gratitude to Brown, we pledge to engage the gifts of our learning and friendships here on College Hill, to create the good, to ameliorate harm, to envision transformation, and to invigorate human hope. Thank you.
Class of 2019, it's a privilege to send you forth from this sacred space with a blessing. The time has come to go forth. This is a moment full of sorrow and joy.
We celebrate the bonds of friendship, even as we bid farewell.
From this moment, take courage for the days ahead.
We embrace with hope all that awaits us.
Go now in peace and rejoicing, and may all your days be blessed. Amen.
I knew it. I loved it.
I'm glad you didn't say why he was doing last year.
Exactly. I didn't want to. I didn't want to.
Didn't really say that. We just put it up on the double.
When I was looking it up, I saw that they covered it.
It was priceless. And he thought it was funny.
Oh, yeah.
But I was not so sure.
Thank you.